1.4 billion. That is how many people live in China, and every single one of them needs to eat. Every day, China imports more food than any country on the planet, spending over $127 billion on imported food in a single year. Over 100 million tons of grain alone pour into Chinese ports every year, and that number keeps climbing because arable land in China is shrinking and the population keeps demanding more protein, more cooking oil, more calories. Now flip the map. Russia grows more wheat than any country on Earth, exporting 41 million metric tons of wheat in a single year. Russia's total grain harvest hit 135 million tons. Two facts that have sat on opposite sides of the globe for decades, separated by 4,000 kilometers of border, freezing rivers, and almost zero infrastructure to connect them. But those two facts are about to collide, because right now, on the exact spot where Russia meets China, they are building the physical infrastructure to feed 1.4 billion people. Actual construction cranes, concrete, and rail lines. And the centerpiece is a grain terminal so large it could reshape global food trade. Zarubino is a small port in Russia's Far East, sitting on the Sea of Japan, just 18 kilometers from the Chinese border. For years, it handled modest cargo volumes. Grain ships from Zarubino typically carried 3,000 to 5,000 tons. Then, a ship loaded with 10,000 tons of corn departed Zarubino bound for China, and it was described as a historic breakthrough for the port. That was just a preview. A Russian-Chinese company is now building a grain terminal there with a capacity of 33.5 million tons per year. That is enough grain to fill over 300,000 train cars. It would take Russia's entire annual wheat export and still have room left over. It is one of the largest grain terminal projects on the planet, and it is being built literally on China's doorstep. The terminal will handle wheat, corn, and soybeans, servicing ships with capacity up to 91,000 tons. The Russian government has already signed the order to expand the entire Zarubino seaport to accommodate it. Construction is underway. The Zarubino terminal is just one piece of something much bigger. It is called the New Land Grain Corridor, and it is the world's first specialized railway grain corridor connecting two countries. The idea is straightforward. Build a dedicated rail and logistics network that moves grain from Russia's Urals, Siberia, and Far East directly into China without depending on sea routes through the Black Sea, the Suez Canal, or the Strait of Malacca. At the Belt and Road Summit in Beijing, Russia signed a deal to supply